Hi, this is Chris Sharpe, goalkeeping coach of the Colorado Rapids. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. You're watching it with Omar from Pro GK.
Good shot. I want to say, yep. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, welcome back to Coach's Corner, episode number 2 with Chris Sharpe, goalkeeper coach for the Colorado Rapids, core goalkeeping as well, and the academy director for almost, 12 years now?
Almost 12 years, yeah.
So in the last segment, we talked about keeping your feet under your shoulders, your balance, making sure there's no wasted movements. And as we get into the latter portion of the session now, when you're talking about the fast movements into slow movements, I would assume that when your mind starts going 100 miles an hour, your body can no longer respond the same way your mind is responding.
Right.
Can you explain to me a little bit more of from your perspective what you mean by those points?
For me, you look at the best athletes in every sport. They see the game so slowly. Things are going at snail's pace for them. And that's what, I said it to Rawlsy a couple of times in here, that when your body's traveling at pace, your brain has to be going super slowly. And just that ability to be calm and composed in the moment, and your fast approach in a slow arrival, your fast movements into slow movements where, it is going quickly. Your body is going quickly. The game is happening at speed. Yeah. But your brain has to have a nice, calm, composed thought process into that moment.
And one point that I think you make to Rawls in this next segment right here is making sure that you don't take away your feet. Don't take away your feet to use your hands.
Yeah, correct.
And I think is that a byproduct of sometimes moving too fast with not allowing or affording yourself the time to slow down and give yourself the ability to access the right choices in your mind? Do you feel like that's a byproduct?
I think it's a byproduct of two things. I think it's a byproduct of going too quickly. Your fast approach continues into your arrival where you end up trying to kick feet out from underneath you to use your hands. But I also think it's a byproduct of what a natural tendency is for a human being is when something struck at you, you stand up or you try and get out the way of it. And I think for any goalkeeping coach who's working with goalkeepers at elite level where balls are being hit quite hard, staying in your set position and staying low in your set position and not losing your hips or not popping up is again a byproduct of when you pop up, you take your feet away to use your hands. Yeah. So for me, especially in the context of this session and how close we are to the goalkeeper, every part of your body is useful. And you'll see two little segments in there where both Abe and Rawlsy take their feet away to try and use their hands, which result in a goal. Yeah. But it is a simple kick save, or not a simple kick save, but it's a useful kick save and very, very effective. And in the modern game today, using your feet in certain moments is very, very effective.
All right, guys, so as you guys get into this next segment, make sure you guys pay attention to those little things that Coach is bringing up, that fast approach and slow arrival, and seeing with the goalkeepers if they could make some of the saves that maybe they didn't make because of their fast approach leading into their save. So we'll come back after this next segment. Enjoy.
Right in the end of the rod. Yeah, perfect. Clint, after each ball, you guys just holding the ball out in front of you, okay? After each ball, you're popping in and backing up again, okay? So just head down. I'll just say, yep, just in. But while you're touching it, your eyes are going. Backing up, boom, react. Up, ape into you, boom. So my shape in my body, yes? I don't want to be stepping in like this. Big steps. I don't want to be stepping in like this. Yeah, my eyes are up. I'm not even worried about Rawlsy's ball. I'm into that space there, so I'm in a good spot. Think about everything we've worked on last week. Yeah, body shape, bang, I'm in, quickly, boom. Yep, react. 4 balls, that's it. Okay. Good, body shape, good, yes. Excellent. Eyes, good, yes. Yes, so up, eyes. Good, yes. Eye, up. Shape, yes. Well done, find it, brilliant. You stay low, relax. Listen, why do I want it quickly like this? Why am I after it for it?
So you can get to the spot.
You can get to the spot quick, but I'm asking, even when we watch the video, there's some times when crosses come in and we're still just like away. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? As opposed to the cross comes in, yes, there. Yeah. It's a massive difference, guys, especially from this close. That yard is huge. Yeah. Okay, that movement though, and I know it gets tiring, but that movement to get in here and be powerful out, but be powerful and moving at pace with what? Balance. Yeah? Okay, concentrate. Good for you, relax. Yeah. You can go to A, Rawlsy. Balance when you're moving. Don't be going so fast that you're out of balance. Yeah? Balance. Think about your body shape. On you. Yep. Good, yes. Good, get yourself back. Back. Good, yep. Yes, sir. Up. Good, back, low. Good, yes. Good, lad. Up. Come on, Rawlsy, no goals. Back, low. Yes. Yeah. That's where your mind can't work at the same pace as your feet. You've got to see that slowly. Such a good position. Last set, Abe's, one ball at a time. Yes, one ball at a time. Concentrate, movement's balanced. Clint first. Yes. Good, yep. Good lad, stay low, don't stand up. Low. Good, yes. Yes, so, up, low. Good, yes, come on, son. Up, there's a rebound there. Good, yes, come on. Shape, yes. Yes, good. Click one more. One more round. Abe, there is no reason, none in my opinion, that anything should beat you here with the speed you got. It should beat you. And especially your height, your balance should be in different class, yeah? Good, yes. Eyes, good, yes. Up, great stuff, yep, good. Low, that ends, yes. Excellent, up, low. Good, balance, yes. Good, hands, love it, up, low, big fella. Good, yes, come on. Yes, superb. Concentration, pal. Great concentration. Cheers, Geordie. Starting to get somewhere, chaps. We're starting to get somewhere. Yeah. Catch. Shift, yes. Yes, sir. Yep. Shift. Go, come on, balance. Off. Think where you are, back on your line. Big difference, right? There, look where you are though, look where you are. You can't afford to go there. You've got to be there. Do you know what I'm saying? That there, especially where you are here, it's okay if you're there. Do you know what I mean? But know where you are. I've got to get it just in front. It up going there and out. You're exactly right. Last one. Yes, come on. Eyes, good, yep. Good hands, great balance. Good, low, yes. Yes, so, up, move, balance. Good, come on, yes. Oh, good lads. Great save. Good, low. Come on. Yes. Yes, Abraham. Relax. Difference there, yes.
The same one.
Your hand here and your hand there. Yeah, it goes over the bar. Yeah. Good, yes. Good lad. Up. Good. Head and shoulders forward. Good. Head and shoulders forward. Good, yes. Yes, sir. Good. Head and shoulders forward. Good, move. Yes. Good lad, brilliant, up! Yeah, good, yes, eyes, good, yes. Good, excellent, yep, come on. Good, eyes, yes. Good, well done, up, stay low, don't stand up. Low, yes, come on. Good, excellent, up, extra step, back to the line, come on, move. Good, yes. Good, it rolls it even there. Like, you're not busting your to get there. You know what I mean? Like, you, right now, you should be like this. That you kind of just... It's the pace to get there and the pace to get back. Yeah, it's part of the parcel. Get there with speed. Get to where you need to be. You can chop your feet up and slow down. Yeah. On you, Abe's. Good. Come on. Good eyes. Good. Yes. Good lad. Stay low. Balance. Good. Yes. Good. Good hands. Up. Don't have to go down if you don't need to. Good. Yes. Good. Set. Ah, what a safe kick. Come on, move. Good, low. Yes, come on. Good, Abes. One more, Rosie. One more. Don't lose your hips. Yes. Good, come on. Yep. Good lad, great feet. Good, yes, come on, move. Yes. Good, excellent. Eyes. Good, yes, come on, move. Good, yes. Good, excellent. Up. Good, low. Balance. Good, yes. Oh. Yep, yep, great answer. It's a great answer. Don't take feet away to use your hands. Your foot's right there, bang. Don't take your feet away to use your hands. Last set, Abe. No goals. Balance, balance. Yep, on you. Go, come on, yes. Go, yep. Let's go again, go again. You've done the same thing. Down, took your foot away. It's there, use it. Yes, effective tool, use it. Yep, go, come on, yes. Good touch, yep. Go, come on, yes. Go, hands up. Good, yes. Go, come on. There you go, up. Find that one. Good, yes, come on, move. Go, come on, go, 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 go. Oh, love it, kid. Rosie, you want one more? Yeah.
I got one more, man.
Don't take feet away to use hands, yeah? This is great for you.
Yeah.
Because your brain goes a gajillion miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Your athleticism takes you a gajillion miles an hour.
Yeah.
You gotta relax. Right. That one, the two of them, the same balls. You're in such a good position to probably just catch, yeah? But your head goes, oh, bang. And it's simple. You gotta remember this. I'll say the head to him. There's no way he should get beaten here. Probably no same for you. There's probably no way for you either with your athleticism. But as you're seeing it, now you got to think, I'm seeing it going to hit the fucking thing. It's not traveling that fast. But if you do that, even if it comes through, the one clink grabs between his legs, even if it comes through and goes the other way, your balance is so good that you can do whatever. Even if, look, and this is, again, lads, this is just like someone's blocking you in front of you, yeah? And again, we talked about it last week. The defenders we have this year in Lullis and Austin, there's going to be blocks. You're going to see blocks. Yeah, so these moments too, it gets blocked, it hits the foot and goes the other way, and you're already going down, you're in trouble anyway, do you know what I mean? So if it gets blocked and you've moved, then you can close the space down. Yeah, but it's just seeing what's coming and being balanced. Yeah. Low. Yeah, come on. Good, yes. Good lad, great touch. Good, yes, come on. Go on, Rosie, so much better. Good, come on, yes. Good lad, last ball. Low, balance. Good. Aves will move there. Got better, so much better than it was last week. Yeah. Rosie, that's better. Don't have to panic there. Don't panic there. And even this one. Now, another great example. On the first one, where were you going? Up, rather than you're already standing up there and you've got nowhere to go. Your body, boom, it's quick, because you've loaded here to go up. Yeah. Do you want a couple more? You can. If not, I'm done.
All right, guys, so welcome back from that segment. Chris, one thing I did notice and I really want to bring up to you was, as coaches, sometimes we put sessions together where we don't really take into account balls being hit at a certain point and our goalkeepers not understanding when to set. Mm-hmm. Sometimes even when you deal with younger goalkeepers, even college goalkeepers, when you give them a specific set plan for the drill, they play the drill, not the actual situation. So how do you avoid that? Is it something a coach needs to bring up, or does a coach allow the goalkeepers to fail and then you step in and say, hey, why didn't you set when I wasn't going to strike the ball, versus just getting back to a spot?
We have debated this in goalkeeping for a long time about stopping and starting sessions to give too much information as coaches, or letting the counterbalance that is letting them figure it out on the fly, with you as the coach having the ability to coach them in the session or coach each individual as you're serving the next one. Yeah. I think it's a skill. It's an art to be able to coach the person who's just gone through the rep whilst you're serving the next ball for the next person, so you can keep a rhythm and a timing for the session. But I think for me, as I watch sessions unfold, a lot of the time we as coaches can stop it too many times. The session loses its rhythm. The goalkeepers lose their nous and their rhythm within the session. But I think if we can kind of throw in every now and again a little bit of a curveball within that, you're going low right, you're throwing a low left, and the kid is already lost, the goalkeeper's already lost their balance. Over time, which, it is, again, it's a progression, the goalkeepers that you're asking that of will end up being a little bit more honest, being a little bit more balanced. Yeah. And then in drills, as you put the drills together, just change your service slightly. Again, the timing of the service slightly to let them honor when to get set, when not to get set. Do I still have a chance to have an extra step? Yeah. So on and so forth.
And I think that's a really good point to everybody, coaches, players, making sure that you honor what the game gives you, because in a game, like we're going to see in this next drill, that's what you have to do as well. Yep. All right, guys, so enjoy this next segment. We're going to be back here after that final drill, and we'll recap the entire session and let you guys know Chris's final thoughts about his own session. We'll be back.
The difference in that yard might be the difference in one step to get just a little something on it. Yeah. Now, look at you two. Instead of moving up, and got deeper because of the scenario here. Again, Aussie heads it, and you're just patient to stay here. But the natural reaction will be the ball goes out and you start to do this. Right. You're in trouble. Yeah. You know what I mean? Abe's outside the mannequin, rolls it outside the mannequin, okay? Bigger perspective now, bigger picture. Click your feet. So it's just, you've touched the hand in there, touched the ball, on my shout, go, on my touch, dropping in. Okay, it's a transitional moment. Just make the save, take your time, other way, okay, then switch. Rosie and Abe, live to finish. Listen, now you got distance, get your feet going. Get your feet moving. Yeah. Good! Great patience! Movement, yes. Good. Rosie, in your patient moment, make sure you're low, yeah? Yes, sir! Good, brilliant place to put it, kid. Fantastic. Yep. Up, good balance. Yes, sir! Brilliant. Yes, Clint. Great feet, big man. Again, what's going to help you from this distance with front of you? It's back, yeah, depth.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, think about your current, rather than going on the same line, that movement's got to be, yeah?
Should it be a crossover?
I think you've probably got enough.
Over there?
I think you've probably got enough space to do it.
That's not my problem with it. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I think, for me, on the touch, you can't get caught there as I'm striking the ball.
Yeah.
So you got to find the balance. If I take a massive touch, you probably got time to do it. Yeah. But if I take a quick one and you get caught in that space there, you're in a world of trouble. Yeah. But again, you talk about the lines we talked about the other week. I think for the depth of where they are, you can't be too high. Do you know what I mean? So that movement back is so important. I mean, for me, it's probably this one opening up into that space there, bang. Okay. So at least now I've got balance in my feet, yeah? All right. But the deeper you get, the more time you're gonna have to do what? Two things. React and move your feet, yeah? Yeah. Good! That's why, yeah? That's fine, you're fine. Yep. Shape, fella. Yeah. Up! Good, one more. Clint, think about where it's the same one as that touch comes inside. You don't want to get too far one way. There's a long way for me to go there, but it's a long way for you to get your feet going as well. Yeah. Oh.
Like behind the white thing the whole time.
Yeah. So again, for me, it's the spot you get to also is not only based off me, but it's based off what you've got there too. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I figured out. Do I take the left with the angle slightly off?
I think so. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Because think about this. This is the biggest thing for me. You've got to think about what I'm seeing. Do you know what I'm saying? So what I changed my mind because I saw you disappear behind the mannequin. Yeah. So as I'm planting my foot, I'm changing my mind mid-strike to go this way. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm thinking is, if you look at it from where the shooter's coming from, if you're a little bit off, just a tiny bit off, I've got to bend it around one, possibly two, and which gives you time to do what? Get your feet going. It's the same situation as there. Yeah. The ball comes off my foot, it's bending around the defenders. Step, I'm still in balance. Step, I'm still in balance. I've got position to go. If it deflects off the mannequin, I'm still in a spot here I can go the other way. Yeah. Does that make sense? But by going too far this way off the initial shot, you're giving space in there you probably shouldn't be giving up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Balance! Say it again.
You can see it actually like on that one. I have to come on this side of the dummy. If I come this side to see it, I feel like I'm almost too far.
Right.
So I'm coming back.
So let me ask you a question. What's going to help? That's a great point. What's going to help you?
I mean, if I get
depth. Depth. So I'm thinking too, you got to think about where you're coming from. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're coming from this side and I'm there, that's why I keep moving. If I'm coming from this side and you're there, you can probably stay on this side. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But from here, you've got a chance to get deeper. Yeah. Like the two you've both made down to your left, it's only because you're where? Yeah. You're a yard off your line from a 4-yard movement. So it's the same on this side. I've gone the opposite way to you, Clint. Yeah. But I reckon for me, I know for me, that if you know that you're going to give up something somewhere, I'd rather you give up what? The depth. Yeah. Then at least if it comes through there, you've got a chance to get your feet going. You've got another 4 or 5 yards to get your feet going in time. Yeah? Go same one, same side, same one, same side. Look where you are. Yeah? Huge difference. God rolls in, it's a great save. Why? Depth. Let's go! Again, what do you got? More time. Great feet.
Did you get the left foot?
Don't get, hey, listen, again, we were just talking about when you went down. Your movement off the disc has got to go where? Back, you've got to give yourself distance. Yeah, you got to give yourself depth. Like there, you were here then, and you're not quite sure, and then you just go and it beats you. Yeah, as opposed to here, you can start to see it. If it comes back off and goes your way, you're in a good spot. Shape. Depth. Good lad, road top. Go, come on. Find it, good lad. See what happens? Shape, well done. Feet, well done. Well done. Good play, support it, kid. Feet, good shape. Well done. Good spot. Come on. Up. Hey, I know that's a super tough ball. But as you get to that spot where it's bouncing, just a half shift. Bang, so the ball actually moves. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless you can control it in there. But if you feel like you can't, so a half pop. Just bang, just so it moves. Yeah. Shy, love it. Yep. Up. Come on. Five.
I told you I can't touch that.
Come on. Let's see race that one. Coming in here, and you start to do what? Yeah, but again, put your hands up. It becomes, if you can't catch it, that little shift in your hands, so it goes. Rather than you move it and you just let it hit your hand, as if you start to go, and put it in back. Use the pace of the ball, but that little nudge is going to help it go. You know what I mean? What are we at? 2? How many more? Shy, one more. Catch. Relax.
We did get that on film.
It's good, a little bit of fun, but like we talked about last week, that little bit of fun can't turn to stopping. Yeah? Okay, tomorrow you know the drill. We'll get in. I've got a little bit of just really tight angle shot stopping, really tight and hard, and then we'll play with our feet and the small toe game. Well done, chaps. Good day. Get them going.
All right, guys, and we're back, and we've reached the last part of the video here. And Chris, once again, thank you so much for just sharing your thoughts, philosophies, and allowing us to come out and film the session. Before we let you out, one question that I did have for you, and you and I had been texting about this, is that, you know, my goalkeeper coach for the Galaxy and Davis as well in college, they never told me to drop so deep on my line. There was those opportunities where the ball got cleared out, or if it was a cutback, to try and get in slightly advanced position, just to cut down the angle a little bit more, and then have your body moving in a positive direction. But in your points right here, you were having them recover back to the line, and you kept talking about depth. But I want to just, can you explain a little bit more why you had them drop so deep, and your specific coaching points as to why you would choose that?
I think, like you just mentioned, everything's situational. Everything to me, when planning sessions is done in a situational progression, that you're looking to achieve something based off a certain situation. And, the thought process was, for example, cross comes in, cross is cleared out, the line squeezes up to wherever they were, 7, 8, 9 yards. We as goalkeepers, in my opinion, can't get too close to that line because A, you might be unsighted. B, we talked about it in the podcast with the pace of the balls, the movement of the balls. But the main reason for me is if we get too close to that line of defenders when they are that close to the goal, you give yourself pretty much no time to react. Should it come through legs? Should it come past bodies? Should it take a deflection? And I'm asking them to drop back and in to give themselves some depth, which is allowing them to have time to either see the ball through the dummy, see the ball through bodies, and or if it comes off something, it gives themselves time to react as well.
For sure. So as you guys can see there, when even the macro coaching points, there's so many little micro points that you can make in there. But one of the reasons why I love this session and how you put it together was because what you established from the early progressions were, again, the eyes moving from one ball to the next ball, the recovery movement and the faster movements into slow movements, fast approach, slow arrival. And then from there, having your feet underneath you. So I felt like everything that you did from the beginning to the end was pieced together. And again, like you said to me in the podcast, is that goalkeeper coaches, and especially goalkeepers, should ask them of their goalkeeper coaches, be organized, making sure you have a specific game plan every time you step out to the field. If it's not intentional, it's not going to be beneficial to your goalkeepers. And Chris, any last words of advice to we'll go with the young goalkeepers who are maybe watching this and what they can potentially take away from any footage they ever watch of themselves?
Yep. I would like to say this as well, and I just piggyback on your point there for the coaches as well. Don't be afraid within your sessions to change things on the fly. If something's not working, if you can feel that there might be a good change within the session, if you can see something isn't working, don't keep forcing the issue. If you feel that there's something in there, or you can see there's something that it is going to absolutely help the goalkeepers within the session with a slight adjustment, whether it's an angle, whether it's a depth, whether it's the distance, whatever it is, left foot, right foot, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you feel as a coach that you can affect the session with a slight adjustment and it's going a little bit off your game plan, I say go ahead and do it, because at the end of the day, it's about the young men and women that you're coaching.
Sure.
And if you feel that that's going to benefit them within that moment, go ahead and do it.
What do you feel is the most important piece for them to walk away with in terms of keeping their mind switched on while they watch it, and what should they be looking for? The terminology, the physical attributes that maybe Abraham and them share, or let's say you're 6'4" and you have Clint or Ralsey's size. Is it just about understanding the profiles, or just picking little pieces off everybody?
I think, to be honest with you, I think everyone's different. There's no two exact same goalkeepers out there. And I think for me, finding things within the sessions, when you watch sessions, whether they're my sessions or anyone's sessions, finding things within the sessions where you can look at it and go, okay, that movement is similar to what I do. I would like to adjust this. Their stature is similar to how I'm built. They have very good movement. They have good balance. They have a low center of gravity. Yeah. So I think as a young goalkeeper, finding goalkeepers or finding, things within sessions that are very similar to the way you goalkeep. And I know as a young goalkeeper, I modeled my goalkeeping off a senior goalkeeper that was in Australia at the time. And when I look back at it, I probably picked someone who was far more athletic than me to model my game off, which probably was not ideal. But, as a coach now with experience, or still as a young coach, there's times in those moments in the footage when I look back at it and I think to myself, you know what, there were things in there that I could have done better as a young goalkeeper based off watching, other goalkeepers.
Yeah.
And I think watching, this session, for those of you watching it, liken yourself to something in there, whether it's your movement, whether it's your hand shape, whether it's the way you set up, and take those little moments and try and emulate them in your sessions when you're on the field.
Awesome. All right, Chris. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This has been the Coach's Corner, guys. And one thing I will leave, parting words to everybody here is Chris, first-team goalkeeper coach for the Colorado Rapids, MLS team, professional. And when we break down the sessions, or I've broken down this session with him, you've been very, very honest about certain coaching points and certain things that you could have changed as a coach. And I feel like talking to every young goalkeeper or goalkeeper coach out there, just making sure that you're open to criticism, open to self-critique, and I think that's important for evolution. I think at the next level, even with these young goalkeepers, Clint, who's maybe, you said 100-some plus games in the MLS, he still has a lot to learn, and he's very open and willing to learn. Abraham, who's 17 years old, who is not as experienced, but he has so much willingness to learn because of the culture you guys have created here in Colorado. So hopefully with Coach's Corner here, you guys got that. And again, Chris, thank you so much for being on. Again, guys, this has been the first installment of the Coach's Corner with Chris Sharpe of the Colorado Rapids. See you guys soon. Take care.